Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Around late October, early November, we start to feel the sadness of losing our basil and peppers and our tomato plants. So I thought this year, now that we have a greenhouse, why not try to grow some of these things in containers so that we can extend our season. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm not a newbie with container gardening. I've grown container gardens on decks and balconies and bedrooms. So this is not something new, but I thought I would take you along with me. So let's go. To start a container garden, you only need a few simple things, starting with the container. Depending on the type of plant or plants you're growing, you want to consider the size and type of container that you buy. In this case, I have a very large container because I'm going to be planting multiple plants within one container. So I want to make sure that there's enough space for all of the plants to grow. Same with this barrel here. We're growing sweet potatoes, so I want to have a nice big size planting pot for the sweet potatoes to grow and all of the tubers to have space within the container. Originally, we wanted to grow our sweet potatoes in the Birdie's raised garden beds, but we ran out of soil doing the cut flower garden, so we have to go a little bit on a smaller scale. We could also grow the sweet potatoes in grow bags, which is really good for potatoes, and they're very cost efficient. So if you're not growing perennial trees and shrubs, you're just growing annual vegetables or short stuff, then you can not splurge so much on the containers. But if you're growing something like maybe a lemon tree, you want it to look more exotic and Mediterranean or whatever, you can spend a little bit more money on the pot. Some plants that you buy may come with their own pot, like this lemon tree here. So technically I don't have to repot this, but I will because I want it to look a little nicer than this. All right, so that's it for containers. Next thing is soil. The soil required for container gardening is very simple. Just some simple potting soil. I use organic potting soil, but whatever suits you. Um, Most plants like nice, well-draining soil, but make sure that whatever soil you're buying is suitable for whatever plant you're growing. So it could be a one-size-fits-all thing, but if you're growing some exotic plants, make sure that you're tailoring your soil to the needs of that plant. The third thing you'll need for container gardening is the plants. So make sure you are choosing container-friendly varieties of whatever plants you want to grow in your pots. I am growing an early bush or early girl bush tomato, which because it's a bush tomato, it will do well in a container. Most tomatoes do well in containers, but you do need to use cages or stakes, trellising, and you need to make sure that you're taking that into account with whatever plant you're growing. Does it require staking? Does it require any special treatment? I'll also be interplanting the tomatoes with the peppers, basil, and marigolds. I'll also be potting up this lemon tree in a more aesthetically pleasing pot, and I'll also get my sweet potato starts in my container. And I will do a separate video on sweet potato plants and how to grow those, but it's time to get them in their pots. When you're filling your pots with soil, you want to fill it mostly to the top, maybe leave a couple of inches, and you want to water your plants really well. Some plants require watering on a more frequent basis, and that would include the tomatoes and basil. Some plants, like if you're growing aloe vera, you can water that maybe every 2 weeks or so. So again, pay attention to the type of plants that you're planting but make sure that your plants are sufficiently watered and have sufficient nutrients. For the sweet potato container, I pre-moistened the soil since the slips are a little bit more tender than the plants we just planted. But one tip I highly suggest is to water your container at the destination and not where you're planting it if it's not its final location, because now this soil is much heavier with water than it would have been dried, and I have to move it. And I didn't think about that until after I started watering it. So that's one tip for container gardening. As usual, I bought too many plants. So I have extra basil, have Thai basil and sweet basil. I also have extra marigolds, and I still need to get the lemon plant planted. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these potted up. Container gardening allows you to plant in soil that is suitable for plants. For example, we have clay soil, so planting in the ground for some plants is a little bit more difficult. It also allows you to plant in locations that allow you to extend the season. As you can see here, we're planting in the greenhouse, so that means come the frost months, hopefully it will be warmer in here, allowing us to grow summer vegetables a little bit longer. And container gardening allows you to grow in small spaces. So if you have a patio or a deck, or even if you are growing in the house, container gardening allows you to grow a significant amount of food really in a small lot. So a pot or whatever container you can come up with. Well, I'm all done. I was able to get my tomatoes, peppers, basil, marigolds, and sweet potato plants all potted up, along with that lemon tree. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember that container gardening is easy, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much, and talk to you guys again soon. Bye.